This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports Chaco. We're here at the Fighter Hotel. I think probably nearly at this stage we can nearly probably announce it because it's so close. By the time the interview goes out, people will be going to the venue. But I was delighted to be joined with Ireland's obviously newest pro, Kurt Walker. You've obviously had your debut 2 weeks ago today. Does it probably now feel it's kicking in that you're obviously now a pro boxer?
Yeah, definitely. It was kicking in when I was in Fight Week in Glasgow, doing all the stuff that I've never done before, the press conference, the weigh-ins, all that other stuff, and I enjoyed it. You know, I felt no pressure. I enjoyed every minute of it. I think obviously later down the line I will start to feel pressure, but I like having pressure too. I feel a bit better, boxing better, but I enjoyed every minute of it.
Jamie was sort of mentioning the other day, about the fact that you're going to keep you busy. You obviously and Kieran are going to keep you busy and everything else. But I think the one thing he wanted to have, which is to have a memorable debut, and probably in some ways, probably everybody's going to remember everybody that fought in the card for the wrong reasons. Obviously, Taylor Carroll ended up, obviously the judges and everything else. So people's probably going to remember, in years to come, and people's going, "Oh, where did you make your debut, Taylor Carroll?" Everybody will remember it then,
100%, because of what happened, it's a memorable night, and I couldn't have had a better debut. I was on early. I like being on early, because I wanted to enjoy the rest of the night and watch the fights. So I get in first round KO. I couldn't have done any better. It was brilliant.
It's one of them, I guess. You're having your debut away from home, in Scotland. Obviously now it's whenever you're going to make your debut in Belfast. It's going to be like a second sort of debut, but at least you've been in there and been able to feel a ring walk and everything else. Then probably maybe having a fight in Belfast, maybe going to put a bit more pressure. People watching it probably haven't got to see boxing in a while. But I guess that's what everybody's now going is, Kurt, when are you going to fight in Belfast?
Yeah, definitely. It was good to have people flying over for Glasgow. And I think even though there'd be a lot more people in Belfast to watch me, I could do very well in that perspective. But I'm looking forward to it. People just keep asking me when I'm a fight in Belfast. And I'm 100% sure it will be this year, so I'm looking forward to it.
Obviously changing over from amateur, obviously you're a very well acclaimed amateur, and let's say when we've done your interview and your announcement of joining Colin Boxing, you're obviously well known, but obviously now you've been a pro boxer, are you sort of getting maybe more eyes turning and going, he's a pro boxer rather than an amateur boxer? Now you probably maybe getting a bit more respect from people.
You know what? It's different. Like in a way, people love amateurs, but no one really cares about amateur sport, to be honest. Mm-hmm. In the Olympics, obviously, it's a lot different down south. A lot of people would know people more down south because you're going to the Olympics with Ireland and all that. But yeah, it's different. When you're a pro boxer, some people take notice of you, even though I've only had one fight. Even stupid things like people would notice you, and things like this where people would never notice you because you're an amateur boxer. Mm-hmm. So it's good to get a wider audience, going forward. That's how you sell tickets and get big fights. So yeah, it's good.
Jamie, obviously, led to carry the bag the other day. Obviously, you're going to have big fight news coming, looking like you and Kieran Malloy's going to Madison Square Garden in June. Would you ever thought that was going to happen so soon as turning over as a pro?
Yeah, well, that's my main reason for going with Top Rank. I wanted big fights in America, the biggest venue in the world, probably the most famous venue in the world. I didn't expect it maybe to come that soon, but I'm ready for it and I'm delighted. June is perfect for me. Hopefully get a fight in here and then fight in June again. And
obviously your plan is to stay as busy as possible?
6 fights, yeah. So the way I could even spread it out, I could take a week off every fight and do another 6 to 8 week camp and fight. I could do that for a year because your first year realistically is going to probably be your busiest year. Because you're only fighting 6 rounders, you're just stepping up the ladder, you're trying to learn every fight. So I'll have 6 good hard fights and then I'll go up to 8 rounds hopefully by the end of next year.
I think Sean, maybe when he turned over, thinking maybe 8 fights in his first year.
Sean was busy, Sean was flying his first year, that's me. When you're training, you come back in the camp, once you're fit, you're not going to lose it, unless you be stupid and just go off the rails for a while. But I took a week and a half off, done a wee bit of training. I'm still fit. I was training this week in the hotel, and I'll go to London here on Sunday and start my camp again.
How's it been selling him at Adam? Because obviously I was trying to get Adam for an interview the other day, and I was sort of saying Adam's been like a sort of miracle man for Irish boxing. Obviously Andy Lee, Ryan Burnett, it was obviously Michael, and now yourself. So I guess if he keeps that train going, all that's going to happen, you're going to become a world champion.
Yeah, definitely. He has a good understanding of probably the way Irish people box, because I think it's a lot different than other countries. A lot of us would be very similar styles, kind of, just like Burnett and all, and Michael, and Andy was just severe power in his punches, so he was just different gravy. But Nah, it's good. I love the gym. I love being in the gym. The people in the gym, all the coaches. There's so much variety of coaches. All you learn something off every single one of them, and I really enjoy it. I really do.
And obviously, speaking on tonight's card, obviously Mick, your stablemate, obviously you took over from him sort of in the amateur cycle as well. You obviously Keevan fighting as well, Thomas Carty. It's going to be a monumentous night, and I guess it's probably going to give you that feel of, you've obviously been to plenty of fight cards and everything else before, but having that feel of over 3,000 people in the Nottingham Arena going mad, it's probably going to make you start looking around going, I nearly wish it was myself.
Yeah, it's class to have so many Irish people on it, like Keevan and Thomas and Guy, and obviously Mick fighting the biggest fighter's career. I'm just glad to be here and witness it all in person. Witness history being made. I think Mick dominates Leewood. I think all the Irish lads will win. I think Guy Cully is a hard fight as well, but I think Guy's very good and very, very skillful, and he's getting him on at the right time. So yeah, it's going to be a cracking night.
It's one of them, everybody it's Irish is tuning in for Irish fighters and says giving them all good fights at certain times. I guess obviously being around Mick, probably a lot of the camp as well. You following him from the amateur scene, obviously into the pros. What have you been sort of learning wee tricks and wee things that he does that's sort of going to help you with your own?
I learn stuff off Michael every day, I would say, honestly. He trains like no one I've ever seen. His intensity is insane, but that's why he's fighting for world title tonight. And I know where I need to be if I want to be fighting for world title in the next coming years, to put that extra thing in that not many people have, and I think I have it. So even just to be pro things, like he would teach me just stupid things, body shots, more body shots, which I have been trying to do, like you've seen there in my fight. So yeah, I think even training with him will bring me on a lot.
I think I sort of said to you yesterday, it's sort of one of them where you've came from a really high level and, in amateur boxing, and then you're sort of having to come down where you have a journeyman sort of type where they don't come forward. Is it sort of maybe, I know you have to understand it, the fact that you have to learn the craft of switching over. So your first few fights are probably the golfing classes there, but I'm sure you're probably just looking to one where it's somebody's got a danger of a chance of winning to sort of really show your skills.
Yeah, definitely. I think you need to be fighting someone who, for to knock them out or look good, you need to be fighting someone who's willing to take chances. That fella I fought the other day actually was willing to take a chance, and it didn't, and that's how I got the knockout. So lucky enough, but he was covering up before that, and then the one time, lucky enough, I was throwing the shot then. So that's what I would like. Obviously, better opposition going forward, but you still don't want no one who's going to stand there and cover up, because they'll bring out the worst in you.
And we've seen that earlier on with Mick as well, obviously fighting in America, where people run away from him in the fight. And your obviously focus is to impress Top Rank as much as possible so they can get you bigger fights, give you bigger platforms. Probably the more knockouts you have and really good performances, the more cards you're going to get on, and you can tick your bucket list off and go on, whose card do I want to be on next?
Yeah, definitely. I always want to impress. I think me boxing on the back foot is probably where people will see me best. And I don't think that'll come for a lot of fights, because I like going forward too, but I just think at my very best, and whenever someone's coming at me trying to catch me in the count, and I look forward to showing people what I can do that way.
Well, Kurt, listen, thanks very much for your time. Obviously, I hope you enjoyed it this evening, and obviously we know potentially maybe have some fight news coming very soon, and it's going to be a mouthwatering one as well, so I'm sure you'll be looking forward to getting back in the camp on Sunday and getting back in the ring again. Yeah,
definitely. I'm hoping to have fight news next week, just waiting on a few things, and then I'll be ready to go. But yeah, definitely be out next month, I think. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much for your time, Kurt. Cheers, take care.